Jordan, and welcome to Cocktails with the Queens. I am back with my queens, my girls, Vivica A. Fox, Lisa Ray, and Selena Johnson. And tonight we are dishing about everything trending in the news and on social media and throwing a little girl talk and some cocktails for our Messy Mondays. Ladies, how y'all doing? Y'all ready?
Yes.
Let's get into it.
What y'all sipping on?
Well, you know me, darling. I have my Pinot Noir.
Well, I'm on my Lisa Ray today, honey. I have tea because I have allergies.
Oh,
the girl power, you know.
Okay, it's just an S.
So me and Vivica are the only ones with the liquor, huh?
You gotta stay representing.
Vivica, you and I have a lot in common. We're cougars and we like to drink.
You know what?
In that order.
Wow.
Anyways, we will talk more about that at another time. Okay, ladies, we have a lot to cover tonight, so I think we should just jump right on into it. Okay, y'all ready? We got a game. I want everyone to stick around because I know y'all love when we do the game. So at the end of the show, we're gonna get into these games and we're gonna have a little fun with the girls, with the ladies, with the queens. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's get into this. So during an interview with Gale King, Megan Thee Stallion talked about the trauma she endured in her 2020 shooting that involved Tory Lanez. Unfortunately, we don't have the clip due to clearance purposes, but it was the first time Megan addressed the alleged shooting on television. Megan said, "All I hear is this man screaming. He said, 'Dance, B,' and B-I-T-C-H, and he started shooting." I'm like, okay, oh my God, he shot a couple of times. She continued with, "I didn't even want to move. I didn't want to move too quick because I'm like, oh my God, if I take the wrong step, I don't know if he could shoot something that's super important. I don't know if he could shoot and kill me." Megan also denied having a sexual relationship with Lanez. Ladies, did y'all see the interview? One, and what are your thoughts on Megan finally sharing her side of the story? Selena, let's start with you. I want to hear what you have to say about this.
I did see the interview, and I thought it was old because the story has been, was so old. So I thought that the interview was old. I thought I was catching up on something, but to learn that it was new was quite interesting. It took so long for her to come out in this type of setting to speak about it. But I just find it awful. I just find it despicable that someone thinks it's funny to shoot at your feet and then say "dance," B-I-T-C-H. Like, why did I spell that out? Like, why did I just do that? That was crazy.
Girl, we trying to be on mainstream TV. That's okay.
What just happened where I just spelled that shit out? Was it my jacket that I just felt like I need to spell?
How about you spelled out B-I-T-C-H, but you just said shit?
But then said shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, just totally backwards. But yeah, I was surprised that she came out to Gale in this type of setting so late in the game. I guess I have more questions than I'm right along with the public. Why do you guys think that it took so long? I really don't know. But I did feel upset and enraged all over again. You know what I'm saying?
There was some type of gag order in place, perhaps.
Okay, maybe that's probably what it was.
And then second of all, I find it confusing, and I'm glad that they're actually going to court to be able to hear both sides of the story, because it is definitely that. It's two sides to the story, Like she said, she definitely got something happened because she had fragments of bullets in her leg, in her Achilles. So something happened for sure. Now, another thing to me that was, since I did see that clip in that interview of Gale King, with Megan Thee Stallion, she did deny having a sexual relationship with him. But did he not, and you could tell me, didn't he say that he was having a relationship with both her and the best friend? And that was the reason why Megan was mad. And from what I don't know if she was mad or not, because I didn't really follow the story like that. But that made me feel like, well, if she was mad, why would she be mad? And then why would you be mad even if your best friend is sleeping with him? Because that ain't you, and that's her. P-U-S-S-Y, you know what I mean? So I understand that. Is he able to travel now or no? He's not even able to make any money yet, or he able to move around? Do we know that?
What says gun? What happened where they got to have a gun pull out?
Vivica, what do you think about this?
Well, Gale King strikes again, darling. Gale be getting them interviews. Folks will chat with Gale. I mean, that's what I find surprising more than anything else. I personally think that Megan made a mistake talking. If this is going to trial, the first thing they have to remember is whatever you say and do can be used against you. So, you know, we as women have to realize we need to practice patience sometimes and, you know, take the emotional aspect out of things, especially if you are trying to prove a case and prosecute a case. So I don't know who advised her to speak before the trial happens. I don't think it was a smart idea. I really don't. I'm not saying that I don't feel her pain, that she didn't experience some kind of trauma, but I really think that her people should have advised her until this is settled, and then you can tell your side. That's when you talk.
I agree. I think during a pending, a trial, a case that's in progress, it is a mistake to kind of show your cards. But I also kind of feel for her because she's been getting dragged like she's the one that shot somebody. They treat her like she's on trial. She's not. He's on trial, not her.
But that is just public opinion.
Yeah.
Which until the facts are stated and they come out, she should have kept everything that she possibly can in her file cabinet, that if he committed a crime against her, that they can prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law. Now lawyers can take things and twist and turns, because I've already seen a couple of things, you know, people are like, well, that wasn't a story. We heard it first and this, that, and the third. So, you know, I just wish she had a little bit more patience. You can definitely tell that the young lady experienced some trauma, and it was at the hands of Tory Lanez or whoever Lanez,
switching lanes,
right. Switching lanes,
lanes.
you know, yeah.
I'm just disturbed at how this woman is being treated as she's the one that actually is the one that's on trial. Like from the beginning, people seem to not want to believe a Black woman when it comes up. Like if it's a Black woman against a Black man, it's always like us too. Other women, oh, she lied. She did this. Somebody shot Megan in the feet. She did not shoot herself. And I feel like we make all kinds of excuses for why, and well, this was off and this the friend and all this kind of stuff. At the end of the day, she was shot, whether it bounced off the ground and ricocheted or went directly into her foot. She is the victim here, and she is being treated like trash because some people don't like her. And I think that is so FUCKED up. That it's a spelling bee tonight, right? We spelling.
You see what I'm saying?
But it's messed up the way, like, I read the comments and it's like she's the one on trial. And it's Tory Lanez. I'm older. Am I missing something? Is Tory Lanez this upstanding citizen where we're like, no, it couldn't be? And we make
That's another thing too. His track record, kind of speaks for itself. So, it's frustrating. And like I said, I don't know who advised her to do this interview at this point.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's ran out of patience and is frustrated and wants to tell her side. But I would advise her in the future from doing another interview until.
I have a question though, and has anyone said, or that you guys can think of, has anyone talked about why he had a gun? Like I'm
right there.
Like I'm actually do want to know that. Like, why did you pull out a gun?
Does not have a gun nowadays. I mean, Trump made sure of that.
Right, but why you use it in that instance? Like, what made you pull out
at a house party supposedly with your friends? But that just goes to show you guys the state of the world today, that here you can be thinking you hanging with your homies and friends and going to a pool party. I mean, do y'all not recall this young lady with a helicopter thing, like pointing down on her, and she was in a bikini?
Yeah.
Shot in her foot. I mean, this incident was crazy, in my honest opinion, that y'all went to a pool party, y'all riding away, and all of a sudden you end up getting shot in your foot as you still got on a bikini.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The interesting part about it, like, you see the part of the interview where she said that they got messages, they got confirmed text messages. Gale King was able to get the messages where Meg's former best friend, who's not her friend anymore, sent a text to Megan's security saying, "Oh my God, come help her. Toy just shot her."
Right, because she did say that it was a normal argument that they were all having, and that it turned into and it escalated into something that caused her to get out of the car and have the helicopter, find her, and blood and shatteredness and all of that.
I mean, she had her hands up. The police had a spotlight on her. I mean, I can totally tell, understand why she was traumatized from this. But, you know, baby, this is a lesson to all of us. Watch the company you keep.
Yeah, he had to be high. I'm just gonna say that. Ain't no way you pulling out no gun talking about some dance. That's a fool.
Yeah, but you know what though? Well, she did say this. She said they had been hanging out. She hadn't experienced none of that at first. You know what I mean?
Bonded over their mothers. I think both their moms died or something. Then they bond over that.
Yeah, right, exactly. So Selena, when drugs is involved, then all kind of stuff can take place that you didn't know was gonna take place at first. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure she knew that she wouldn't have gotten in the car with him at all.
It was either Tory or her best friend Kelsey, and supposedly Tory did say, "I give y'all $1 million if you don't tell." And they said rumors were circulating that Megan was jealous that Tory Lanez was flirting with Kylie at the pool party and got jealous, but that's all alleged. But I'm sorry, I don't care. You still do not deserve to get shot in the foot. I understand Tory Lanez is a little tiny bite-sized, pocket-sized man with very struggly hair. So he's probably defensive and got that Napoleon complex. Oh, you disrespected me? And Megan's 6 foot tall and a stallion-esque.
Which is also interesting because, and I'll just say this one last thing, but the fact that how did they argue about the Kylie thing doesn't set well with me because she just already said that they were not in a sexual relationship. I'm not arguing with no man about flirting with no girl at no party before if we ain't really doing nothing. I'm not getting ready to say nothing. I'm just gonna be like, oh, okay, he on that. So then you really ain't getting none. You know what I'm saying? So
what was the argument about?
Exactly. It couldn't have been about no Kylie. I doubt that.
You can't play with me with no gun. Like you
can't
play at all.
You know, I hope we get to the bottom of this because the social media private investigators are so annoying with everything. You know, everyone's a prosecutor, a forensics expert, and it's like
they're gonna find out down to the internet. You better believe it.
All right.
The internet is undefeated. So
moving on, the story that just won't go away. Chris Rock's mom is talking about how she felt about Will Smith's behavior at the Oscars. She said, when he slapped Chris, he slapped all of us. When you hurt my child, you hurt me. Let's start with you, Vivica. What are your thoughts on what she said?
I agree with her. I think that's the one thing that we found out from the incident was how big of a family Chris Rock had. I had no idea that he had 8 brothers. So, boy, that's on site 8 times. You know what I'm saying? Right. Mama did not look happy. Okay, she was, but you know, this was a mother's love that was displayed. That she was like, how you think you just gonna embarrass my son and our family like that with little regards? So I get it that she, you know, came out. You know, you had people saying, "Oh, I can't believe they're still talking about this." This is the after effects that of how it affects the entire family. You forget he is someone's son, someone's father, someone's brother.
Lisa Ray, you're a mom, and I know you don't play about yours. How would you feel if someone put hands and disrespected your daughter publicly like this? How would you feel?
I can't even say anything no different than Vivica said. I don't think any of us have anything different to say. Yep. Like, that's it. That's the mother's love. That's a family love. Yeah.
You know, one of the thing that she said that kind of made me go, you know what? And not but because the part she said when he slapped him, he slapped me. I felt that all down up in my stomach because I have 2 sons. And had that been me, honey, you'd have saw the mama running from the back, running up on Will, and you'd have had to go to commercial. Okay, then, because that wouldn't have not. No, you didn't. No, you did not just hit my son on TV.
Selena, at least a good shoe toss, right?
Listen, it would have been so much hands. They would have saw the talking in and out. It would have went to commercial. But one thing she said before that, you know, when the whole thing happened, a lot of men were really upset about it. You know,
Furious.
I saw a lot of women like, well, you know, it was some of that, you know, with the women like, well, you know, Chris didn't read the room and all of that. But for the most part, men were outraged. And that statement that she said, when he slapped him, he slapped us all. I feel like Black men especially felt slapped.
Yes.
I felt like they felt like ain't no man. I think they felt like their manhood was tested when Chris Rock was slapped. You know what I'm saying? That's how impactful it was. Like I would talk to men, they'd be like, man, ain't no way. Ain't no way. I would have jumped him, kicked him in the back. Like, they were really upset about it. And so when she said that statement, I thought about that. Like, that's probably how, Black men probably, that's how they felt. Or men, period. Even Jim Carrey was going off.
Was.
They probably felt like, yo, that was a manhood foul on the play. You know what I'm saying?
It is so ridiculous. Now that we're like a few weeks out from it, it really, we've been traumatized consistently since Trump got in office in 2016. I feel like all kinds of nonsense been happening. Brothers getting slapped on stage. Little midgets, little small people are shooting established female rappers in the foot. We got so much stuff that just happening every single day. People making diss tracks, bragging about sleeping with someone's wife. It's just been crazy. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break. I'm gonna take this drink to the head to deal with America.
You're right, Claudia. It is Cocktails with Queens.
Listen, honey.
Let's have a drink, ladies, and go to commercial break. We'll be right back, ladies. Salute. Okay. We'll be right back after this. Back to Cocktails with the Queens. Before we get into the next story about Kiki Palmer, can I just give the Queens a shout out for always bringing it with the looks every single week? We got Vivica with the half up, half down ponytail, looking all of 27. We got Selena with the highlights, the honey brown with that sun-kissed skin. We got Lisa Ray with the middle part, looking very beautiful with the beautiful blue, looking very young and youthful. And I got the little reporter Bob with the little flipped ends.
Okay, out for Rash Press.
Okay, giving. Okay,
we giving. We cute, y'all. We kind of cute. Kind of cute, right? Okay.
As always.
I want to acknowledge all this beauty on the screen right here because 4 beautiful Black women together, getting along, offering positive insight in real life. Offering our opinions on these stories and sharing some things that are personal about ourselves and not being afraid to put their opinions out there every week. I just want to give y'all props. I think that's super dope. And you're all superstars.
You can't just say you giving us. It's all of us, we collectively,
that part.
Teamwork make a dream work.
I receive that. When we gonna get in the studio, FOXSOUL, and get the people the fashions from head to toe. Because I'm tired of being cute up top and looking like this on the bottom. Okay.
Listen.
But I don't want to do it anymore.
I tell you, I can't even show you what's going on. It's so many Nike shorts and flip flops with little rabbits on them, child. It's nuts.
Well, I beg to differ. I just had to toe because I know a photo shoot.
She had to toe.
It's about last night for tomorrow. I gotta have something for social media. So I'm sorry. I do my video before the show and tomorrow. Y'all
she's like, Vivica, like, I don't know about you, but Mama is done.
I like when we do our themes.
Yeah, we need to do a theme again soon.
Yeah,
let's do it. Let's put it in the chat and let's get something cracking because I think people like it. All right, y'all, let's get into this Kiki Palmer story. Now, she tweeted a message, and I'm sure y'all can relate to this, about after an encounter with a fan who filmed her against her will. No means no, even when it doesn't pertain to sex. I was at the bar the other day, and this girl asked me 3 times for a picture, and I told her 3 times nicely that I did not want to take one with her. She still proceeded to film me against my will. She continued with, creating boundaries can sometimes be difficult, but when you people please or always try to avoid conflict, when you people please or always try to avoid conflict, you let yourself down every time. Lisa Ray, I want to start with you. Do you agree with Kiki? And have you ever had a deal with an overly hyped fan who, invaded your privacy?
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you this, it always trips me out because I think I still be in awe when somebody can meet you and fall apart and go to tears and go to hugging on you. And I have to always play it off like, hey, like, girl, I wear white. I don't want to get dirty, that kind of thing. But when they're so hyped, I can almost be there like a mom and go, get your shit together. Stop doing that shit. You know what I mean? Like, say hello or utilize your time and ask me something that you would always wanted to know or something. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there going, you want a picture? You want a hug? And I'm not going to stand there too long because I'm on my way somewhere. You know what I mean? And you try not to be mean because definitely we understand that it is because of our fan base that we are here and we are liked and relevant. Like, I get that. You know what I mean? But we human too. Sometimes we can wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Sometimes we may not feel like our best or picture ready. You know what I mean? For you to be able to show this picture to everybody and say, this is so-and-so. You know what I mean? And I respect the people that take pictures of you and they'll hit me and say, can I post this? I'm like, you know what? Thank you. Thank you for the respect of my privacy. But because paparazzi has none, and the law protects them with that. You can be filmed somewhere, but I wouldn't want to film anybody while I'm eating and you got me all looking like this. What picture is that? You wasn't sitting there eating with me. Oh, I see a picture of her across the way. What is that? You know what I mean? So I think that people need to give us a break.
I feel that. Okay. Selena, what do you think about this?
It's the entitlement for me. It's the fact that you think because we are celebrities, we have to always be on, you know? And I don't think that people stop to really think about that. Now, I don't have a problem taking pictures, you know, just like Lisa Ray said, you know, it's nothing wrong with taking pictures, video, whatever the case may be, but you got to at least get permission. It's not cool. You know what I'm saying? The fact that she said no, and then they kept going is borderline assault. You know what I'm saying? It's borderline assault. And the fact that she almost felt like violated. You know, she didn't almost feel it. She felt violated because you took a piece of her. You know, people say all the time, when you take a picture, you take a piece of a person's soul. Like you took a piece of her without her permission. And that's not cool. And so I want to know what's in the mindset of people where they feel like that's okay to keep going. Because the first thing that comes to my mind is entitlement. Why do you feel that you're entitled to someone's personal space, time, and image? Why do you feel that you're entitled to that? Now, had you been at a show and you paid for it, or, you know, they're paying for pictures after the play, or, you know, you're in an appearance, pictures are, you know, they come with the territory. Mm-hmm. But somebody minding their own business on their own time, that ain't cool.
Facts.
That ain't cool.
Vivica, what do you think?
My biggest pet peeve, do not invade my space, especially if I'm eating or if I have told you no. So a lesson that Kiki needs to learn is that do yourself a favor, remove yourself, move to another section. Or the biggest thing that I do is I just turn my back to him and you're going to get the back of my head. So you won't film anyway. That's something that I love to do. Like, oh, you don't think I can see you? I can always feel a camera on me. I mean, we've been doing this for a very long time. And I'm telling you, I can always feel the camera on me. So I'll just reposition myself, or I will be nice at first and say, not right now, or come here, let's do the picture. But if I'm not wanting to take a picture and I tell you not right now, I'll either remove myself or just turn my back on you.
And let me tell you what happened to me real quick. It even happens on the set. When you are working and someone brings their son or their kid to their fan and they start doing the too much. I just recently did a scene and it was a bathtub scene. And, you know, sometimes I'm real comfortable with myself, you know what I mean? So it was time for me to get into the water. So instead of having the crew just all leave out, I just said, just turn real quick and let me just jump in this water. I did not know that the son was being a peeping Tom, you know what I mean? And someone caught him and said, erase that. But here's the thing, when you tell them to erase it, there's another compartment in your phone that has to be
erased.
That has to be erased. So that means he still had it. And I didn't know until I got in the car. And I looked and was like, why the hell you ain't tell me that? Because I damn sure would have caught them. And I took the whole damn phone.
And where's their mother? Where's their parent?
The mama wasn't there.
That's wrong. You know, I try to always see things from both sides, right? So on one hand, I remember this friend of mine who's a casino host. He said a friend of his who was a football legend said the reason why he takes pictures with everyone, because that 15 seconds you spend and you give someone, you know, their moment with you, it's a lifetime of them being like your PR person. Like they'll tell the world how amazing you were. And that's fair. And I get when you're excited, you're in a town, you never see a celebrity, you're like, oh my God, I'll never see you again. I want the picture. But please try to put yourself in the other person's shoes. They might be going through a breakup. They may have had a bad day. They might be sick. They may feel ugly, insecure. Like they're humans like you. I don't think like people think about that. They think that they own you because they maybe bought your bought your album or watched your movies or support your show. It's like it's finding the balance. And people do need to be more respectful because they will put a camera in your face in the bathroom or while you're eating or when you're out with your person or your other person or whatever you're doing, I don't know. And you may not want to be on camera. Like, just try to think about that person as you.
Agree.
I never say no, really. I am very much so the type that will stand in line and wait for the last person that stood in line too. You know what I mean? Like I'm really with that, but the personal stuff is kind of like,
yeah. I mean, the one that bugs me the most is that when you're eating, like you just don't like you want to like you said, Claudia, put yourself in their shoes. You're eating. You don't want nobody standing above you, and it just That's the one that really irritates me.
Or shaking hands with somebody and now you got to eat with that same hand. It's like,
no, we're not doing that. That's when they get.
Or if you're on the phone.
Yeah.
If I'm on the phone and you see that I'm on the phone, don't
Stop
come
it.
up to me and ask then. That's not
when they say, "Hey, can you tell my?" And it's like, I'm not talking.
Oh, I hate that. Now that
I hate that. My mama.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
One time I was going through a breakup, and it was about 6-7 years ago in LA, and a male friend of mine was like, "Let me come let's go meet for drinks. I'm sorry, for lunch." And we were outside at a cafe in Venice. Totally innocent. He was a long time friend, and we were just talking. Someone snuck a picture and put hashtag Claudia Jordan. So then my ex I was going through my breakup with found that and was like, "You was out there messing around." I'm like, "What?" So people like straight up are invading your privacy, putting stuff out there that can be taken as a false narrative when they catch you these moments without any context. And I just want people to be more respectful and just think about that.
Yeah.
Because, you might get someone's ass beat. I'm just saying. Okay, moving on. There's a new hit show on Netflix called The Ultimatum that follows 6 couples who have reached a breaking point in their relationship. Now, one person wants to get married and the other does not. The show tests the couple's relationship by having them split up and couple with another cast member for 3 weeks, then go back to their mate and live together for 3 weeks. Now, the show ends with each person deciding if they want to say I do to their partner or break up and start a relationship with the new person that they got coupled up with. Ladies, have you ever given a man an ultimatum, and do you think they are relationship enders? Vivica, let's go to you.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think after you've spent time with someone, and if the relationship is basically like, what does that say, spinning wheels in mud, and it's going nowhere, that you're just kind of like, what are we doing? So I mean, I've definitely been there, that I just kind of, I don't give a person an ultimatum like, what are we doing? Are we getting married or not? But if I've definitely kind of like, what are we doing, and what's happening? And I had to make a choice for myself. I gave myself an ultimatum, like, are you going to continue in this kind of relationship that ain't going nowhere, that you're constantly unhappy and questioning, and you're feeling unfulfilled? So I've done it to myself, but like telling the guy you want to be with me or not, I don't know, I got a little bit too much ego for that. And I can kind of read between the lines. If you're not giving me what I need, I will move it on.com.
Yeah. I'm giving ultimatum there. If I got to give an ultimatum, then we're not doing this, because you should be able to feel that, know that, and be the fact that you're in it. And you got to ask, are you in it still? Because no, I'm not doing that.
Selena, what do you think about this?
I don't know, in a show form. I mean, I guess it's going to be entertaining, because you making people say, you forcing the people to make a choice that they don't want, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I guess that's entertaining, in terms of a show. But in real life, I believe that it is important to set boundaries from the top to the bottom of any relationship, But the thing is that once you set that boundary, are you going to stick to it?
Yes, that's what people mess up. Yeah,
you can't set a boundary in the top and then don't stick to it, and then now you got this ultimatum. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's important to set boundary. I feel like it's important to set boundaries from the top of the relationship all the way throughout, because you do grow as a person, and your mind changes, and your life changes, and your body changes, and your interests change. So your wants and needs could change. So it just really depends on you and the person, and how you all work through your boundaries, and, what you want to give and all of that. But as a show, I guess that's fun to watch people make bad mistakes, so.
Great idea for a show. But in real life, I've never given an ultimatum until I was told, like, most men need one. And then when you do, I think it's a mistake, because even if you get the thing you wanted to get from them, there's always going to be an asterisk next to it that they only did it because it was either lose you or do this. So I don't want it like that either. I feel like you're kind of twisting someone's arm. Like, who wants to like get to that next level that way? Like, it's going to feel better knowing that it was 2 willing participants that couldn't wait to take that next step. Not, well, I had to do it or she was on bounce on me. Like, that's a whack way to.
Well, I'll say this, Claudia, and you make a very good point, but there are some times where a man might not know what he wants until you show him.
That
Or
part.
until you put him in a predicament where he has to choose the right thing for himself. And then when he makes that choice, he goes, huh, thank God she set that boundary on me, because I wouldn't have known, I wouldn't have known that this is what I needed.
Yeah.
A lot of times a woman can help a man understand what he needs.
I'd
And
like
vice
to
versa.
a question real quick. How long are these couples in a relationship though? Because you
Right.
get setting an ultimatum with someone that either relationship it's too new. Like, do you all even really know each other? Have you been together for a while? That it's kind of like, what we gonna do? You gonna what's that? Or get up off the
On the
pot?
verge, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I remember growing up, and I know we have to go to commercial. I knew this couple, right? They were like friends with family. This guy and his girl been together like 15 years. They had like 5
no.
kids. And I was like, what are y'all doing? I said, when y'all get married, he goes, oh man, I don't want no commitment. I'm like, my dude,
You are committed.
you have 5 kids with her. Like, that's
wow. And 5 kids? No.
In 15 years, that is a commitment. Sorry, sir.
No.
Sorry,
And see, I just feel like that for like a woman at this point. You had 5 kids and this man ain't made you his wife. Girl, you better go
Ain't
find
no way.
somebody that will.
Ain't no way for me. Hell to the no.
I don't have that problem either, because I'm not having no more kids. So I don't.
That's me neither, child. Then there's that.
5 kids? Like, wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot of commitment right there.
He was making sure she stayed home.
But he real dumb, because to say that is dumb. You have 5 kids and stayed for 15 years. You're committed, sir.
That part.
So you somewhere talking that you ain't committed. All you're saying is, I just want to be able to still cheat. That's what you saying.
That part.
Let's just keep it all the way live. You just want to say you want to be able to go outside the grass.
At that point, she's common law anyway, too.
Facts.
That's
7 years, common law.
Okay, well, we're gonna take a common commercial break right now. We'll be back with more Podcast with Queens after this. Cocktails with the Queens. Everybody, ladies, we have reached the part of the show where we talk about relationships and the challenges we have faced in our own lives and how we actually overcame them. Welcome to our queendom. Vivica. That should be the
At least I'm consistent, right?
Right.
Yes, you are. Hey, ladies, tonight's topic is about if you should try to heal a broken friendship. Our topic was inspired by this post that I came across by Exo Nicole. True friendship is built on love, respect, and trust. But once that foundation is broken and that friend betrays you, is it possible to turn an ex-bestie back into a bestie? And can a friendship ever truly be restored once it's broken? Ladies, what do you think about this? Lisa Ray, let's start with you.
I think it depends on the situation, and it depends on the friendship and the level of the friendship and the level of the maturity and the level of the lesson learned in the situation. Because just as Selena was talking about, you can teach someone how to treat you, how to be a friend to you. You can teach them, period, where they have an epiphany of, oh, you know what? I did not know that, or that has never been my experience. And thank you for teaching me, or thank you for being patient. And it also depends on if that friendship is missed or not. You can have some friendships that something goes haywire and you go, yep, thank you for doing that, and move yourself on out the way. It was just a matter of time. You know what I mean? And you could tell those ones, because those ones that you always got to go, you know what? Every time I give you a chance, you always, when you start saying that, you always, and we always gotta go, and what we gotta do, when you start saying that all the time, it's like, you know what? It's me. It is me, girl. Bye. You know what I mean? And then at that time, I don't give a damn who fault it is, because then it's like, I don't want to do this no more. But to ask your question, I think with all of that being said, if there is a friendship though that you have where you all can sit down and say, hey girl, you know what? I didn't mean that. And my heart was in the right place, but my head was just, I wasn't thinking. If it's something that there's a trust that you can look at that person because you know them enough to say, I know that you ain't really truly trying to mess me around. I can give you a pass. But again, if that keep happening, you're going to have to fall on down with it.
That's right. Okay. That's great. Thank you so much. That was actually good. I feel that a lot.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes.
Well, I've been having seasons of shedding lately, where, I've had to some friends had to just say, you know what, like Lisa Ray said, I'm just going to let this song go. However, me and this queen here, our friendship has been tested several times, and that's Lisa Ray. And I feel with Lisa Ray that I always call her baby sister, because our friendship has been tested a couple of times. It really has. And I always felt that because I know her heart, that there would always be a chance for us to sit down and talk and at least go, did you mean to mess up again? Because you know you be getting on my nerves. And we can, as women, talk about it and work through it, because I have a very quick temper. And sometimes when I get mad, I will see my only side of the story. And if you really care for someone, you will let them say, listen, that's not how it went down. This is how it went down, honestly. I know you may have saw it another way, but it wasn't my intention to hurt you or to betray you. And so when a person comes to you that way, honestly, and you know it, then you can forgive them and you can move on. I've had other people that they have betrayed my trust, and I just said, time to move on. I'm not giving you another chance. It just depends on the level of betrayal. If you do something that is just unforgivable, or I just feel you're manipulative, then
I come back from.
Yeah. And I can move on. Lisa Ray and I bumped heads over like stupid stuff that once we sat down and talked about it, that was like, girl, you know what? That wasn't really all of that. No way. Our egos more than anything else, because we're both celebrities, you know, the hot chick, don't be trying that. But there was always something that we eventually would get over and then talk about it again.
Girl, ain't nobody happier than you two burying the hatchet than me and Selena. Woo, we had so many. We gotta get them back together, man. What's going on? But now I feel like there's like a level of peace now.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
coming from everybody here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and you said something important. You said thinking about it from like your own perspective. I think that's a superpower. You know what I mean? I feel like the world will be a better place if we can all try to see it from the other person's. We only look at it from where we are. And how do you ever get anywhere? Like, we all weren't raised the same. We all have the same experiences. And it's so hard to be like, I never thought about it like that. You may have a point. Selena, what do you think about this? Have you ever like repaired a friendship have you ever gone back?
Okay, so I'm a Virgo, right? So there's a way about me that I work on constantly. I don't have a middle, right? So either I'm going to take a lot of your stuff for a really long time, or that's your ass. It's over. And I am just a cut you off type of person. And once I'm tired, it's over, right? So I'm working on that, because there needs to be some gray area in some instances, right? But what I've discovered about myself is that in terms of friendships, well, to answer your question, Claudia, yes, I have repaired friendships, but most of my friends that I call my friends, we've been friends for like 25 years.
Word.
Like, I got friends that's like 20, like decades deep, like 30 years, you know, that I still, like, we talk on the phone every day, like, you know, like we didn't talk, like we had never talked before, you know. And there's about 3 or 4 of those women, you know what I'm saying? But I've also learned that sometimes a friendship, especially if it's new, can be a codependency and not really a friendship. And so I have been trying to learn how to determine between codependency and friendship. And there's a couple of signs that I've learned that shows me that one is not the other. So for instance, a person who's a person that's your friend, you could go a month without talking to them and pick up the phone and be like, girl, what you doing? And they're not going to feel no way. A person that's codependent, they all down to your phone. You ain't called me yesterday. I called you. I see you didn't call. Some ain't right with that. That's not normal. A person that's your friend that loves you will have that conversation like Vivica explained that she has with Lisa Ray, and Lisa Ray explained, and they'll squash it and they won't even think about that a month and a half later. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. A person that's codependent, you could express your feelings to them, and a month later they'll do the same shit to you again.
Right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
when it's time to move on.
That you could be not cool with no more, but I ain't mad at you. And they don't understand that. You know what I mean?
They don't.
And I could be like, hey girl, how you doing? Because we ain't fell out. Ain't no beef. I just ain't fucking with you. That's all.
Yeah. But my thing is, if I told you once about something that was painful for me, or something that you've done, and I've told you and I've professed to you, and you're like, yeah, I'll never do that again. And then you do it. You couldn't possibly like me.
As I said, there's levels to like when someone portrays you that you can't go back from. Do you know what I mean? You know, and I think the best thing that if you do have someone that was you considered a friend, forgiveness is a beautiful thing, but only if it comes from both parties. It takes two to tango at all times. And sometimes bump heads, it might be something that's really sensitive to another person. Another time y'all might have been drinking, somebody misunderstood something, but forgiveness has to come from both parties to admit you're wrong, and we move forward in understanding and peace.
Well, I want to just jump in real quick. I want to say real quick, there's also a difference, and we have to recognize this, between a mistake, and you can make a mistake more than once. If you make a mistake twice, that doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you're human. A mistake and a character flaw. A character flaw is something they will never change, no matter how many talks. Y'all can talk it out. They're going to hear you. They may change for a couple of weeks, but they're going to ultimately revert back to their default position. That's who they are as a human being. But a mistake, I can make a mistake a few times. That don't mean I'm a bad person.
But the mistake, it solidifies the character flaw. If the person keeps making the mistake, that's the character flaw. So that's why you have to get rid of them. And I'll say really quickly, forgiveness can be one-sided, Vivica. It can, because it's for you. So you can forgive somebody that you don't fool with and not have to deal with them and get it back from them to have closure. You can forgive them and move on. Just don't fool with them.
But I was saying for the relationship to be repaired and then
inside. Well, they both that's true.
Yes,
that's true.
Everyone's got to take accountability. Everyone's got to take accountability for their part. Yes, I did this because I felt this, and I did this because I reacted to what facts. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that doesn't mean you're being weak. All right, y'all, this was a great conversation. It seems like we have more to say, but we have to go to commercial. I think this is something we can probably do a part 2 of, because I think friendship is so complex, especially with women.
With women.
Yes.
With women. All right, great talk, ladies. Thanks for sharing your personal experiences and your opinions. We're taking a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with more Cocktails with Queens. Cocktails with the Queens. Before we get into the story about faking orgasms, I'd love to hear your take on this. I wanted to say happy birthday to Jamaica, who's in our comments. It's her birthday, and people are just like, they want their shout out. So happy birthday,
Jamaica.
All right, so let's get into this faking orgasm story. And ladies, I definitely want to hear from y'all about this. During an interview with the Shade Room, Power 105's DJ Envy and his wife Gia candidly discussed their toxic relationship, including Casey admitting that she faked orgasms with DJ Envy for a decade. She said, so I would see him trying and really going to work. And I'm sure many women can relate. You want to reward that man for that work. And the only reward that you may have to offer is an orgasm. And even if I didn't feel it, I would still be performative. DJ Envy responded with, it hurt me because I thought I was pleasing my wife. You hear all these stories about women talking about their girlfriends. Oh, girl, he was so short. Oh, girl, he ain't doing nothing. And I feel like they're laughing. And now I feel like that's what my wife is doing. Selena, what do you think about this? And is this normal?
Okay.
I mean, you married.
I have a couple of perspectives. Okay, well, the first perspective, with DJ Envy, I empathize with him, because how will you know how to please your woman if she doesn't communicate that to you? So that's not fair. It's not fair for her to fake for that long and not say anything to him. Not only is it not fair to him, it's not fair to you, girl. I don't know why you would want to do that for that long. Now, there have been times where when the people are tired, when the people are sleepy and it's taking too long, child, and you might be like, oh yeah, that's great, oh my God, so we can move on, okay? Because sometimes mother is not able to just be still going an hour in, okay? Sometimes that's just doing too much. So I can see that instance. However, technically, and I'm not a doctor, but I have heard that it is hard for some women to have vaginal orgasms, just in general. I think that sometimes, and it's just medical like that. Like I have a lot of friends who struggle with having vaginal orgasms. Some of them 2 seconds and they could turn up, so it is what it is. However, the worst part of all of this, I feel, is that she didn't communicate it, because there's so many ways to get an orgasm. There's so many ways to please your woman, and it doesn't have to just be, just vaginal sex. It's so many ways to get it popping. So it's unfortunate that she didn't say anything, because she allowed herself to miss out on her man pleasing her like he should be.
Someone said that she was having, or Clarissa Horton said she's having orgasms through oral sex, not through vaginal sex. But you know what's sad? She didn't communicate with him, but then she communicated with the world. So we get to know and kind of like talk about their business. Lisa Ray, what do you think about this? I know you would never fake it for 10 years. What do you think about this?
But for 10 minutes.
At all.
At all.
No, at all. Because here's the thing. Sex is so awesome when you're on the same page. And when you're husband and wife and you're in love, it feels so good. Almost like you just want to, when they say come as one, that's when you feel that. So she did herself a disjustice as well for that long, and then it says a lot about their relationship and their friendship. It was not there, you know what I mean? Because after that long, you like, I can't even talk to my friend about this, and he's supposed to.
Yeah. Vivica, what do you think?
Well, like Selena said, when you're, somebody is trying to go all the time, hour long, aerobics, in the circus tricks, and this and the third, after a while, you just like, what are we really doing? So I get where she's coming from. Can I tell you what it sounds like to me more than anything else? That lovemaking became a chore to her. And for a woman, and I've been there before, when you like, baby, stop needing to just get your rocks off, make love to me. And in this modern age, everybody want to hit it from the back. Nobody's making love anymore. Right. So it's turned into a chore. So I get where she's coming from, and she should have had the time to have the courage to turn around and say, this ain't fun no more. Where's the romance? I need a little bit more of this. This is turning into a chore. So that's why then just faking it and going through the motions, like Lisa Ray said, and Selena said, baby, you deprived yourself of 10 years of you getting the fireworks too. He can't be the only one just getting off. Yeah. It's not fair.
I think that's a fantastic point, that it became about porn sex and not love making. I think not everyone, but a lot of people are getting away from that. And I say this all the time, the turn on in the sex for women, a lot of times it starts way outside of the bedroom. It has nothing to do with your penis and my vagina. Am I turned on by you in your day-to-day? I can't wait to eat you up. Yes. And all that stuff. That's how you get a girl to have an orgasm. Right. This ain't giving nobody no orgasm. I'm sorry. At all. You know what I mean? At all. So, all right, with that being said, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we got a game to play you don't want to miss. We'll be right back. With the queens now, ladies, before we wrap the show, let's play a game of Most Likely To. I will give you a scenario and you tell me which queen is most likely to do it. We've done this before and it's super fun. It tells a whole lot about what we think about each other. Ladies, are you ready to play Most Likely To?
Yes.
Okay, ladies, who's most likely to stalk their ex? Oh,
I don't know why you would say that about me. Okay, but all right. Me?
Me too, Vivica.
Not really stalk, but cuss
never
out.
Happened.
To the flow.
Never happened. There was a huge lie on the internet that I jumped over. I wish the hell I would. I wish the hell I would, especially now for that fool.
And I only put your name because I saw you put my name, so I was being petty. So full disclosure.
Actually, I was gonna say Claudia, but I end up saying Vivica first.
Remembering old stuff off the internet. Go on.
Who's the most likely to text on my way when they're still at home getting ready?
Oh.
It's
all right, next one.
Okay. Who's most likely to have a foot fetish?
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's most likely to build a sex dungeon? I'm going Vivica on that one.
Oh, please.
In the villa.
Those videos. Are you kidding me?
That's true, but I think you would actually have a whole room for it.
I said myself,
yeah.
I like decorating. I got things in my house.
I do got mirrors on the ceiling. Okay.
See?
Okay.
Who's most likely to die?
House, so
Who's most likely to die first if they starred in a horror film? Okay.
Y'all got me messed up.
Who's most likely to be a sugar mama? Wait, I gotta add something to mine.
Vivica said herself.
Vivica, I said me and you. We both.
Definitely Vivica.
Ladies, this was a fun show. I love this show. I love us. I love us.
Great.
I want to thank Lisa Ray, Selena Johnson, Vivica A. Fox for a fantastic show. Thank you for watching us on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and tell all your friends. Stay tuned for the Pulse that is coming up next. Ladies, we're going to get a theme together for next. So let's all put our suggestions in the chat. Good job, ladies.
He's out.